Bam! What's up, Mavericks? Here we are, video 4. And we're gonna fire up this part 2 of our social media. What are we talking about though, specifically?
This is part of our bread and butter leads and sales series. But in that, we did a video on social media and we're like, there's too much to talk about. So we're gonna break it up into 2.
Exactly.
The first one, we were just talking about the breadcrumbs, how you need to use social media. So it's creating content that sells for you. So you need to have the base of your social media content being those breadcrumbs, how solving those little problems, little hacks, simple solutions that lead your potential clients to your main product or your main service.
Right.
That needs to be like the base. Then you can add some fun stuff, some lifestyle stuff, all that kind of stuff, but make sure that the base is leading them as breadcrumbs.
And before you get into the whole the meat, remember to keep this caveman style. So you're breaking it down so simple for someone to understand it, even if they're a young and old, because you want them to go, oh, dude, there's no confusion. There's nothing getting in the way from them saying, yes, I got it. I get you.
Yep, exactly.
So, go ahead.
So, which we covered in that first video, but that's a great nugget, babe.
Come on.
And so what we are talking about today is, so how do you formulate? So if, okay, I know what the little problem, I know that little problem I need to solve. Now, how do I set up the format of this little reel or this little short? It starts with, it's 3 keys. It's super basic, you guys. It's a hook. So you want to hook them with something like, don't make this mistake. That's a basic one. Or, hey, this is one myth about your industry. Like something hooking them. Then you got your little nugget of, it could be a story of like, oh my gosh, we thought this and then this happened. And like, you're just telling them a story and giving them that solution on how to solve this. So like I was talking about a client about health and weight loss in the last video, and I'll bring that into here.
Let's go.
And it was like, oh my gosh, I could just tell them like one simple hack to upping their protein, because if you want to lose weight, you need to up your protein intake, which I learned from our client.
Come on.
I was discussing this with. And she's like, here's one simple thing you can do in the morning. So it could be a hook of, don't drink this in the morning, and then it goes into, hey, don't drink that mocha frappe chaka with 50 grams of sugar. What you need to actually drink is do this kind of coffee. She gives a simple recipe and how to add more protein to your coffee and make it to where you cut down the sugars and the calories and you up your proteins. Super simple. She gives it, boom. So that you got the hook, you got your solution, which is how to change the recipe of your coffee.
Come on.
And then at the end is the CTA of like, hey, if you want more weight loss tips, or if you are struggling with weight loss, reach out. I can help. I've got resources. Something as simple as that. Dude,
I want some of that.
I know. I was like, I'm taking that recipe.
Right? Yeah. It's still tasty. That's the thing. People think that they're going to have to sacrifice so much just to get in shape, to eat right, all those things. But how cool is that? I'm like, wow, that makes me think, okay, I want some. And that's what you want. You want to be able to, like you said, hook them.
And you solve remember, breadcrumbs.
Right.
But I think when we're in it, for her, the breakthrough was like, oh, she lives it. She breathes it. It's she knows it backwards, forwards, all these things. So, but to me, to someone else, it's like, oh, that's awesome. That solves a problem for me.
Yes.
And so think about those little, you kind of get out of your head, or maybe even talk to one of your clients and be like, what questions, like think about what questions they have on the regular. What are their day-to-day problems, those little ones that are going to lead them to your main offer?
That's right.
And so keep it simple, like Mike said, like this was just about coffee in the morning, how to change your coffee, your 1 cup of coffee, to have it go from, full of sugar, full of calories, to full of energy, protein, and help you lose weight.
It's good.
It's one thing. And so keep it simple. Remember, it's hook, you're solving their problem, and a call to action. That's it. And remember, when you solve their problem, you don't want it to be 50 steps. It's like max should be that you do 3 steps to solve that problem. Ideally, it's 1. Like with hers, it was just put more protein, get rid of the sugar, up the protein.
Boom. Simple. Okay, so then this closes up our social media side of this.
Yes, and we're going on to freebies. So it's how to warm up your cold leads. So it's easier to close them, because we all know it's easier to close a warm lead than it is a cold one. So
Right.
we want to warm up those cold leads, and that's what we're going to be talking about on the next video.
All right. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we want to show up for your inbox, right? Every time we drop a new one, and hit the bell so you get notified.
Yep. And
All right.
comment if you need help. Reach out. We are here. As we're going through this series, we're going through the bread and butter series, the leads and sales series.
Yep.
If you're like, oh my gosh, I need help with this, reach out.
Yes.
We're here.
I'm
We
glad
would
you
love to
said
help
that.
you. And see that call to action. It's as simple as that. Saying, hey, reach out.
So classic. I was about to forget. All right.